Meaning of enjoyment. Do you enjoy your life? If the answer is yes, then it is alright. But if you say that no, then it would be a matter of concern. And in such case, you only have to find the way of your own enjoyment. Because the true meaning of enjoyment should vary from person to person. And in this article, I am going to clarify how and why these should not be the same for all. In your life, you may come into contact with at least one person who intentionally converts your above reply from yes to no in view of his or her limited knowledge on the meaning of enjoyment. So here I am to let you know what the actual meaning of enjoyment should be and how one's mind can be affected if the word enjoyment is treated as same for all. Let's see. Before knowing the meaning of enjoyment, you have to answer to one important question, that is, what can a person get as the reward of spending an enjoyable moment in life? And I am sure that the answer is ready with you, which is satisfaction or pleasure. Yes, you are right. But at the same time, it has to be remembered that pleasure is such a thing that can be earned not from a single source, rather various sources. And the sources of getting pleasure are very much important in describing the term enjoyment. As the sources are different, the meaning of enjoyment should also be different. Now, to make it easily understandable, here I am categorizing the entire mankind into two groups. That is, Group 1, those who have wrong and narrow views on the word enjoyment and are ready to limit its fields to some selected activities as per their likings. And Group 2, those who spend their lives in various ways and have broader views on enjoyment because they never bound it to few activities. Now let me share an incident I witnessed few years back which can better state the reason of the said categorization. In fact, not a single, rather a number of such incidents I witnessed and sometimes faced in my life. Let me say about the specific one. One day, while staying in my friend's group, I took part in a discussion on planning of a tour. The discussion was positively going on because majority was interested in the tour. Suddenly, one of our friends made an appeal that he was not interested. Everybody was shocked. Here, one thing I should mention that there was a good bonding between each other of that group, and we together, without the absence of a single member, used to involve in various activities. And therefore, tour should also be a part of such activities. So it was very common to be shocked on hearing such a wish that was kind enough to cancel the entire plan of the tour. Almost everyone of the group became angry on him. Although it was true that I had no concern about their anger, but I became astonished listening to a statement thrown by one of our friends towards him because that was fully opposite to my opinion. The statement was, "Oh man, why do you live a boring life all the time? This is the time for enjoyment. In this age, you should be involved in all enjoyable activities like tour, party, movie, etc. You are so domesticated. You neither consume liquids nor do smoking. And now saying that even not interested in tour. All these are the real elements of enjoyment, man, and you should get involved in this. Life is useless without enjoyment. How do you enjoy your life by being detached from this? You are so boring." Like this, he had drawn a clear picture of enjoyment with his own pencil and gifted that to my poor friend. Suddenly, his face became pale and all his charms were lost. We all knew that he used to spend a life full of happiness and positivity by being involved in some social works, and he was such a multi-talented boy who always enjoyed his life in his own way. But all of his accumulated enjoyments were proven wrong only because he was not interested in the tour. So the comments of my first friend on the second were a serious matter of concern, and I stopped the first one by scolding him from delivering further comments. So, this is our knowledge on the meaning of enjoyment. Somehow we make it limited based on our own choice and belief, but it is wrong in reality. We often take breaks from our regular tasks to energize ourselves from further working. During these break hours, we used to do some other activities as per our own choice which give us pleasure. These are well known as hobbies, but in this context, these are considered as the elements of getting pleasure, which are nothing but enjoyments. If enjoyment is treated as an action, then pleasure is a feeling as well as the result of such action. Therefore, the meaning of enjoyment should not be fixed for all because the actions are different. The only thing, the goal of which should be the same for all is pleasure. Different person can find pleasure from different sources. Someone may get pleasure from traveling, someone may not. But while interpreting the word traveling, the place of travel should also be considered because it varies man to man. If someone likes domestic tour, others may like to travel abroad. If someone likes only pilgrimage tour, others keep away from thinking of that. Someone may like singing, painting, dancing, writing, etc. But someone may not. So whatever activity we used to do and get pleasure from that is our enjoyment. You may be fond of roaming all over the world, but your friend loves being house arrest all the day. If both of you can find pleasure from your own activities, then none of you should point each other while defining the term enjoyment. But in almost all the cases, it is found that only the persons categorized in group 1 comment on the actions of group 2 people if they don't accept the way of finding pleasure the persons of group 1 used to do. The main thing is one should not make fun on others' choice, especially when the matter of enjoyment comes in the picture. Some people do exist who not only define enjoyment in wrong way but also make it ridiculous while advising others. As per their logic, enjoyment only means drinking, smoking, playing card games, attending midnight parties, visiting nightclubs, watching movies in theater, taking sunbath on a sea beach, lying on a cot half naked and in drunken state, having more than one girlfriends or boyfriends, etc. Here the word only is much poisonous. And they always insert the belief in your mind that if you are away from this, your life will be boring and useless. As a result, you will be mentally and physically weak even after living a happy and enjoyable life in other ways. Whether the said activities are good or bad is not a matter of concern for this article, but considering those as the only elements of enjoyment for all is nothing but a sin. Now come to the point of negative impacts when the term enjoyment is defined wrongly. It damages one's confidence, it degrades the real value of some good activities, it snatches one's happiness and peace, it damages one's health, it enhances family disputes, it reduces the self-esteem of a person, it increases negativities, it encourages some poisonous attitudes like jealousy, arrogance, greediness, etc. It ends many important relations, it kills our society. So, we found that the limited knowledge of enjoyment is a curse for the entire mankind. The question of enjoyment comes both for regular and extracurricular activities. In this context, only extracurricular activities are incorporated. Because if you don't get satisfaction or pleasure from your profession, that is regular activity, then whether you should stick to or quit is entirely upon you. That is different and not the subject of this article. The only subject of this article is enjoyment from some extracurricular activities, the events of which should not be shifted from one to another for the sake of getting fictitious pleasures others used to get. But if you are really unsatisfied with your present activity and unable to find pleasure from that, then it means that the particular activity is not a part of your enjoyment. In such case, you have to change your activity or matter of enjoyment. And most of us don't understand this small truth. So in your life, the motto should be, if you don't like to perform some selected activities described as enjoyments by others and still feel pleasure, then it would be enough for your living. If you get satisfaction while helping others, that is your enjoyment. If your hobby like singing, painting, dancing, reading, writing, tree planting, sports, photography, public speaking, cooking, eating, sleeping, whatever it is gives you pleasure, that is your enjoyment. I enjoy writing this article because I have found pleasure in this, so this is my enjoyment. While reading, if you get pleasure, that will be your enjoyment, and at the same time my enjoyment would also be enhanced. This is the true meaning of enjoyment as per my knowledge, and I think this article may help you to find your own way of getting pleasure and mental peace, and the way will be your enjoyment. My appeal. If you are in group 2, then it is sure that already you have been sieged with the wrong definition of enjoyment and in some cases lost your physical, mental and financial state. So it would be better not to repeat that. And if you are in group 1, then please expand your views on such an important matter that is enjoyment. Even if you can't, please don't insert your own thoughts in others' mind, falling them into trouble. Enjoy your life in your own way and let others do so. Thank you.